Driving a car is all fun and games until your car breaks down. But lucky for you, there's Delaire Auto Body and Service Center, a family-owned business serving Northeast Philadelphia for over 40 years. They can handle all your automotive needs from state inspection to collision repair and insurance claims. Their friendly team is always available to assist you. All you need to do is reach out to them at 215-632-4780 or delaire.auto@verizon.net.
At Dress to the Nines, you can get wonderful bags like these in the spring.
Here at Dress to the Nines Consign, you can get wonderful shoes like Jimmy Choo, London, elegant. I might wear it myself.
As the president of the freshman class of Council Rock North, this is the best resale clothing you can get in Newtown.
Come down to Dress the Nines.
As a freshman president of the... No, why am I... As the president...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Walt Snyder Stadium for Council Rock North women's varsity flag football versus the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials. Jack, we have an incredible game. It is a humid 70-degree day here from Walt Snyder Stadium. What are you looking forward to in this one?
Yeah, it's a great day for football, and I think the key to winning this game is going to be a downfield passing attack. Whichever team can consistently push the ball downfield and get completions without turning the ball over, I think is going to be the team that comes out on top today.
Absolutely. We're bound to have a great game. You said great weather for football. Not sure. It's very humid out. It's a nice temperature, but it is quite humid out, Jack. I don't know about that. Maybe we're different people in that
It'll be
aspect.
nice and sticky to catch the ball.
That's true. You basically get, like, what, free tack? Like in baseball,
Stick
spider
'em.
tack? Stick 'em, yeah. So we'll be back for a great game of Council Rock North varsity women's flag football, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the game.
At Dress to the Nines, you can get a wonderful bag like these in the spring.
Here at Dress to the Nines Consign, you can get wonderful shoes like Jimmy Choo, London, Elegant. I might wear it myself.
As the president of the freshman class of Council Rock North, this is the best resale clothing you can get in Newtown.
Come down to Dress the Nines.
As the freshman president of the... No, why am I... As the president...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Walt Snyder Stadium. I am Ethan Whitney, joined by Jack McInerney, Ethan Livolsi behind the camera for our first broadcast of varsity women's flag football for Council Rock North. Jack, it's a humid 70-degree day like we mentioned, but each of these teams are ready to go. We're sure to have a great game on our hands.
Yeah, I'm excited for the start, and this will be my first broadcast doing football. I'm looking forward to it.
If you missed it, we were here, the Rally Sports Network. This was me and Dan. We were here for the varsity men's season right
Obviously,
back in this stadium.
Must have been a very enjoyable experience.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of PTSD to come with it, but we're back here for Council Rock North. I believe this is one of the first seasons for a varsity women's flag football team. As far as I'm aware, it's very new. It is the first season. We have confirmation, but Plymouth Whitemarsh going to start with the ball, and they're going to start looking downfield. This one a little bit high, no good. Interesting play design there, Jack.
Yeah, designed rollout, and definitely you see that a lot more in flag football than you do in tackle football because of the free blitzer. But right there, the throw, a little bit lofty, a little bit lollipoppy, and too high for the receiver right there.
Yeah, throw there coming from, I believe that was Jules Fristillo. This time they go to the ground. Got a hole. Flag's going to get ripped about the 20 or the 30-yard line, rather. Good play from number 11 of Council Rock North. That is Alexa Peichel, who was on the Spotify playlist for the warm-up, and I just wanted to mention 10 out of 10 job. We were vibing to that for how long was that?
Oh, it was probably like 20
It was a
minutes.
great playlist. It was touched every corner, rather.
Yeah, right
This
there.
time they go back to the ground. Nice little spin move, but it's a good play from number 5 of Council Rock North.
It's fundamental flag pulling right there. You got to stay grounded and not get fooled by moves, because all you got to do, putting yourself in position to where no matter where they go, you're going to be in range to get a flag. That's the key to pulling flags, and so far North has done a great job of that.
Sophia Coe's on the pull. This time they roll out. It's a short pass. Don't know if they're going to get there, and it doesn't look like they will. A good pull there, just like you said. Fundamental flag pulling from number 17 there.
Yeah, you got to go up high, near where the flag attaches to the belt. Right there, it was perfect. She was on that route right away, and minimal gain for Plymouth Whitemarsh, and Council Rock North stuffing it immediately.
Yeah, not much room to breathe for the Colonials here. Earlier, that was Taylor Bordner on the tackle. And they just send everyone, heave this down the field. It's going to be caught. Laps in the North coverage there.
Yeah, I mean, they just kind of, Plymouth Whitemarsh did a great job of being able to find the gap in the defense. There was a front line and there was a back line, and right in the middle, they were able to mesh a few routes down there, and there was just no one to break up that pass.
Essentially ran 4 verts there for my Madden players. Just some contact with the referee
Yeah,
at
that's
midfield.
simple play, but it definitely worked. I mean, you just got to find holes in the coverage. That's how you gain yards.
Ready to go here now with the first down. 2 in the backfield. Takes the snap. Gonna throw. Plenty of time. Just sends it back. She's thinking about unloading. There's nothing down the field. They couldn't get her on the first attempt, and she'll run out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. The missed pull there from number 17, Taylor Bordner again.
Yeah, good play there by Plymouth Whitemarsh. Checking it down in the backfield is a dangerous play, and right there, North had an opportunity to put him back a few yards, but able to escape and avoid the pull, and at least getting positive yards. That's big for Plymouth.
Yeah, it's one of the fun parts about flag football, where if she wanted to, you toss it to your guy in the backfield, she could have just unloaded there. Obviously, that's possible in football, just not as easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It's harder
It's a fun sport.
It's harder playing quarterback in flag football than some people will give it credit for because of that free
Pass
rusher.
getting ripped down at the 38.
That's why plays like this are so effective. When you have quick routes in the middle, that's kind of a lot of times where you find the holes in the coverage because of the blitzer. And a lot of times the quick plays are the ones that work the best in flag.
Yeah, it can be a game of inches sometimes, more than you'd think. First down, believe marked by the cones at the 30-yard line. North in the same formation we saw them on that 4th down earlier.
Yeah, looking, they got a straight line across the 30-yard line, 2 deep
soccer
safeties.
almost. Interesting formation from Plymouth. They fake the pitch, now send it to the far side. She unloads. That pass is short but hauled in. She'll be tackled at the 20, or flag pulled at the 20, rather. It was a good play design there from the Colonials.
Yeah, good play design, and North bit on the run, and right away she knew exactly where she was going with the ball, and the North's deep safety is not able to keep track of that route with all the commotion going on in the background. That's very good, crafty play design there by Plymouth.
For sure. Looked like they had half the roster in the backfield there. This time, just 2 people. They fake the give and go far side instead. Resists on the first one, but could not get past the second wave there. And that is just the tricky part of flag football. Obviously, football, you just lower the shoulder like we did here on the freshman football team, but flag football is a little bit more hand-eye coordination-esque.
Yeah, running the ball in flag football is hard. You have to have really good play design in order to get yards. I've played for a long time, and I will tell you, running the ball, unless it's an RPO, you really got to practice these plays and have
Basic
motion
passing
and
play
fakes
across the middle,
involved.
bobbled and caught into the end zone. It's a touchdown, Plymouth Whitemarsh. Driving right down the field. Jack, what a start for the Colonials.
Yeah, quick pop and go pass right there. And yeah, that's just a really easy play. Again, the short passes a lot of times are going to win these games because
And they killed him with that on that drive.
yeah, great job by the Colonials there. Pop pass and freed up. Even with the tip, still made it in pretty simple completion.
Shades of Zach Ertz. Here they are on the point conversion. Fires into the end zone, hauled in on the corner.
Good play design there.
Simple, easy, effective. Believe that'll make it 7-0.
And Wrightstown Health and Fitness, they pride themselves on listening to your health goals and concerns because you know your body best. We offer personal training, massage therapy, facials, yoga, and mat Pilates classes. Once more, we work alongside in the lines of other health and wellness providers that include nutrition counseling, chiropractic, physical therapy, acupuncture, aesthetics, and so much more. Stop in or visit WrightstownHealthAndFitness.com to learn about how we can fit into your lifestyle today. And thank you to Wrightstown Health and Fitness for sponsoring this broadcast.
Absolutely, they make these possible, the great people at Wrightstown Health and Fitness. And you'd have to imagine North, after what they just saw, just really getting killed by the dump-off pass. They'd have to have something similar drawn up, as like you mentioned, Jack, so hard to defend in flag football. And I've got a question for you after this play, but under center is the starting quarterback, Daisy Van Loo. One woman to her left. They hand off. Far side, trying to get any space she can, and there's just nothing for her. But, Jack, my question for you is, how do you adapt to that as a defense, especially early on in the game?
Well, immediately what you're seeing is with Plymouth, they're going either really short or they're going in between the deep safeties and the front line of the defense. And I think North is too loaded up on the front line and too weak on the back end. And this is exposing because now the front line players are more inclined to move backwards,
Van
which
Loo
frees up
across the
space
middle,
up
caught.
front.
Some room to work with. able to avoid the first defender. Ended up being her flag pulled by number 4. That is Marley Burton, not Burton and Marley.
A good play there. 2 runs to start off. Plymouth with a very different defensive look than what we saw from North. They're playing more spread out, which I think is what we're probably going to end up seeing from North if Plymouth's offense continues moving the ball the way they were.
For sure. They've had Scarlotta next to Van Loo the whole game. This time they just pitch it out to her. Make some nice moves. Still hasn't had her flag pulled. She's past the 50-yard line. What a move from Scarlotta.
Yeah, great play, and it's essentially run play, but with the added mix-up of it wasn't a handoff, it was a pass. You start her in front of the line of scrimmage, and she did the rest of the work. It's a great run there.
That's something you haven't seen in this game. Mostly it's been just the dump-off passes, but she's able to make, I believe it was 2 defenders missed. Didn't get her flag pulled until the Plymouth 49.
Yeah, really shifty on that play, picking up a first down and setting up the North offense. Now that you have a first down, it really opens up the playbook. You could do a lot more.
Van Loo just pitches it to, this time it's Naomi. Moving down the field, right down at the 38. Number 17 there, I believe that was. No, that was Taylor Bordner.
Yeah, that's a good play design there, similar to the last play, except with the added kink of that there was a fake in the backfield there. And that's what allowed it to get so open. The defenders bid on that, and that allowed that freed up the runner to get on that shovel pass and make some good yards.
Absolutely, North driving here early, trying to tie this game up. Van Loo gonna throw, loads it down the field. She's got a woman open, and she's got it for the touchdown. A lapse in the defense. Number 16, Bryn Rogers, just wide open there, Jack.
That's just really good play design. Right now, Plymouth Whitemarsh's defense, they were really expecting to see another short play because that's all Council Rock has done so far is shovel passes and runs. And Van Loo, she's got a good arm and good touch on the deep ball. And right there, the receiver just broke through the defense, and that's an easy pitch and catch right there for North.
I mean, yeah, you hear it so much the other way around, but that time it was more so running to set up the long ball. But now Van Loo trying to tie it up. Simple passing play across the middle, and she's going to get it. Tie game.
That's important. I mean, conversions, they're not as much of a gimme as you'll see in the NFL and high levels of football because of the fact that they're not kicking the ball. But now another word. Wrightstown Health and Fitness prides itself on listening to your health goals and concerns because you know your body best. We also offer personal training, massage therapy, facials, yoga, and mat Pilates classes. Once more, we work alongside an alliance of other health and wellness providers that include nutrition counseling, chiropractic, physical therapy, acupuncture, aesthetics, and so much more. Stop in or visit wrightstownhealthandfitness.com to learn how we can fit into your lifestyle today.
Plymouth Whitemarsh now with the ball. Each team driving right down the field on their opening drives. Nobody in the backfield here for the Colonials. Flag is out. It's a screen. Makes the first defender miss, but nothing after that. That was once again number 17. That is Taylor Bordner. Not sure what the flag is for. And I believe it is offsides. So Jack, a costly start there. Oh, I believe they're signaling false start. False start Colonials is what it appears to be the call. Hard to tell from up here, but Jack, that's a costly start for them as they're going to lose 5 yards.
False starts are just really killers in flag football because they're really easy to avoid. When you're playing tackle football and the offensive lineman, you got to move. You got to stay completely still, and if you flinch a little bit, it's forgivable. But in flag football, you're allowed to motion because everyone's running
Lows
around.
up here on the pass across the middle, and it's intercepted, taking it the other way. North with the early interception, and those can be killers. That is number 15, Isabel Lanza, with the early game breaker.
Yeah, all over that pass right there, and Plymouth tried to set something up going behind the safeties, but right there, just not enough air under that ball, and Council Rock sitting on it the entire time. And Del Air Auto Body and Service Center, a family-owned business serving Northeast Philadelphia for 40 years. They can handle your automotive needs from state inspection to collision repair and insurance claims. Their friendly team is always available to assist you. Reach out to them at 215-632-4780 or delair.auto@verizon.net. That's 215-632-4780 or delair.auto@verizon.net.
Van Loo back to throw here. Barely gets it off, and that was a dangerous pass into no man's land. Lucky she's going to get that one back.
Yeah, and back to the drawing board for North. That play obviously was not very effective.
Obviously, no field goals in flag football, so you got to be careful here. Got to take advantage of this.
But yeah, that interception right there, that's big for North. And just as Del Air offers a helping hand in their friendly automotive service, that defense giving North a big helping hand, and it's costly for Plymouth because turnovers in flag football are just killers.
Love the transition there, Jack. Van Loo trying to reset here. This pass is dangerous. It's a one-on-one. Once again, lucky she's getting that one back.
Yeah, that's one that you don't want to throw again if you're Van Loo, because right into double coverage, a toss-up ball, and on a short route too. It's high risk, low reward. That's one that you just kind of got to think through your progressions a little bit more next time.
And Plymouth has been able to put some pressure on her early in each of those plays, and she has not been able to adjust to it well. So she's got third down here. Need to take advantage of that interception, as you might not get another one like that. You'll rarely get interceptions in flag football. You know, they're hard to come by. You got to take advantage. She loads up here, and it's too far through the hands of the defender. Plymouth Whitemarsh nearly with their own. It was through the hands of number 14. That is Lainey Yontef, and that just a very costly drive for each of these teams, you feel like.
Yeah.
No one's winning.
Big miss right there for Plymouth, though. I mean, fourth down, North still got one more chance to score. I mean, you got to catch that. It's right there, and you have a chance to swish. You have the chance to flip the game back in your favor after the interception on the other end and give your team the ball back. And now North will see if they can make Plymouth pay for the missed opportunity.
Yep, this is where games are won. Van Loo trying to put North up for the first time today. Pressure from Plymouth. She floats this one up. It's going to be caught. I don't think she's going to get there, and she's not. A good stop from Plymouth. And they keep themselves from shooting themselves in their own foot.
Yeah, that's what they needed from the defense right there, is to pick up the offense, and North failing to capitalize on the opportunity. Now, word from Dress to the Nines, located at 9 North State Street, is your place for the best resale clothing and fashion brands in Newtown. It's the perfect place to find your fashion as we get closer to summer with an amazing collection of clothing, purses, hats, shoes, and much more. Follow us on Instagram or call at 215-944-8907. That's 215-944-8907. That's Dress to the Nines.
This one through the hands. Seen a lot of mistakes here with catching on these last couple of plays for Plymouth. That one through the hands of Audrey Conroy, so we'll have to retry on second down.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to move the ball in flag football sometimes, again, because of the free rusher and you don't have a lot of time to unload that ball. And you just, when you have an opportunity to get a simple pitch and catch like that, you really just want to capitalize on that as much as possible.
They fake the handoff. It's a screen. Now it's a reverse, trying to get some open space, but a good recovery from North. They'd run the little pitch out to the woman going to the far side, but just nothing there from the Indian defense.
That is some fun trickery, though, from Plymouth. Sure got me excited there. A little flip back on the short pass and a few extra yards. That is.
Now they hand it off up the middle and immediately snuffed out. This North defense looking a lot better than they did their first time around. They'll get the first down.
Yeah, it's all about clean flag polling. They've been polling flags very well. It's just been a game of inches for Plymouth.
Two in the backfield again. Up the middle, trying to make some woman miss, and she can't get much of it. Flag pulled by number 5 there.
It's been a game of inches for Plymouth because that's how they were able to score on the first drive. And despite North's great flag polling, when you consistently pick up positive yards on these plays and then you get a few chunk plays like they had on the last time, that's where it can be hard to stop.
Long way to go here for the Colonials. Interesting formation. They switched it up after they lined up. See what they go for here. We've already seen some trickery from the Colonials. Unprotected rusher. She's going to load up for the first time all day and too much on it. And they just have not had the long ball like North has so far.
Yeah, missed opportunity there. I mean, the receiver right there, she was open, and the quarterback had the right idea going with there. The timing was good, but just a bit too much on that throw.
You feel like that might have been the design, as it didn't look like she really looked anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, going there all the way, and North still was not able to pick up on it, and that's one you'd like to have back if you're Plymouth, because that was there. But now if you're North, you got to keep an eye out for that again, because
For sure.
got to realize that that could have been a very good big play.
Woman in motion. She rolls out to the near side. Pressure, she just flips it back into the backfield. trying to find anything. This play blown up right from the start. She's going to make some moves, so good way to make something out of nothing there. And it'll be 4th down here again for Plymouth. They're 1 for 1 on the drive.
Yeah, North's defense is going to try to bottle them up here. Right now, it's just one team's got to take advantage. Both teams very productive on their first drives and very unproductive since then. Not much ball movement has been seen. Whichever team gets a stop here, just to get that momentum and have a chance to go down the field and score, that'll be big.
Absolutely. Like I mentioned, long way to go for Plymouth since they started so close to their own end zone due to the interception on their previous drive. But now a 4th down. This one's critical as North would get it back in pretty good field position. Pressure, nowhere to go. She just flips into the backfield again. Now she's trying to load up that throw. Just nothing going. And it is disaster for the Colonials on that play. North had everything beat.
Yeah, that's really just not the right idea. I mean, going short on a 4th down like this, a critical 4th down, mind you, that's just not great play design by Plymouth. And now their defense has got to pick up the slack again and see if they can stop North.
For sure.
And now we got alternate dimension toys at Comic-Con in a store. Stop by either our Newtown or Oxford Valley Mall location for the newest pop culture collectibles. More Funko Pops, Pokemon cards, and action figures here than in any galaxy far, far away.
Thank you so much to Alternate Dimension Toys. Council Rock North going to be their 2nd drive starting in Colonial territory. They looked like they changed up the defense a little bit. Van Loo under early pressure. Looks like that's Scarlotta bobbling and making it, being able to reel that one in. Believe that, or that was not Scarlotta. Hard to tell the numbers from up here. That was number 5 of Council Rock North, Ellie Bond. Impressive catch there.
Yeah, good play right there. I mean, I've played quarterback for flag football teams, and crossing routes, they've always been my go-to. When you get those short routes going, you get the defense moving and kind of confused on where the receivers are. That's where you get open receivers and easy pitch and catches and just chucking the ball along, getting positive yards. It's a good play for North.
Absolutely. Van Loo now under center. Scarlotta going to fly out to the near side. She looks her way. Over to 16, making a move. Unable to get her flag pulled. Gains a lot of extra yardage there. They make it look like they're going to Scarlotta.
First down, Council Rock.
Yeah, it was good play design again. I mean, they look one way and throw it back to yet another slant over the middle, and it's open, and let the receiver do the rest from there, pick up a couple extra yards. And the North offense, right now, they're moving the ball and they're rolling.
Yeah, they made it look like they were going to Scarlotta, who they've used a lot here early in the game. Instead, they go to Bryn Rogers, and it's a 1st and goal here for Council Rock North. They were unable to convert the last time they were close. Can't make that mistake twice. It's again Van Loo and Scarlotta. Van Loo fakes the give, looks to her left, fires. This is going to be caught. And did she get there? No, she did not. Just about a yard short. It was Ellie Bond again.
Yeah,
Or
Plymouth.
Bryn Rogers again, pardon.
Yeah, right now, if I'm not mistaken, North cannot run the ball in this area. So it can be tough to score from here. It just all depends on play design and timing. And as long as Van Loo doesn't make any major mistakes with the ball, they'll have a couple plays to hopefully, if you're North, punch this in and take the advantage in this ball game.
And we've got a Council Rock North timeout, so we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Council Rock North flag football after a word from our sponsors.
Timeout, Council Rock.
Welcome back to Walt Snyder Stadium. It's a 2nd down, and goal for the Indians. Van Loo, as by herself as she's been all day in the backfield, flips it out to Scarlotta. There's just nothing there. Able to make a couple defenders miss a spin move, but she can't get past her.
That's lucky that Scarlotta was able to even get back to the line of scrimmage.
sure.
Pitching it backwards is just not the right idea if you're North, because you're just making it a lot harder on yourself to score. Right here, what I would do, quick hook route. It's hard to defend and it's simple.
Absolutely. It's been bend but don't break for Plymouth here on these last two drives. They've been able to stop North deep in their own territory by putting some pressure on Van Loo. And obviously, as you get closer to the goal line, Jack, as you mentioned, these decisions are going to have to come out quicker. Obviously, you have less time, the less room you have, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the quarterback in this sport, like, your brain has to be moving at lightning speed because there's just so many things to process, and the game moves at such a fast pace, even compared to normal football. And right here, it's crucial drive.
Van Loo
for
trying to
North.
punch it in. Rolls out to her right, floats this one, bobbled, and she's into the end zone. What an effort! Powering through the contact, it's number 17, Taylor Bordner.
Yeah, that's just good play design. That you run a short out route and designed rollout from Van Loo, and that's what you want to do. Design rollouts, they keep the pressure off the quarterback and give them more time to make a decision. And right there, receiver freed up, and Van Loo puts it right where she had to.
Absolutely. What a play from Bordner, just able to push forward for that really extra yard that she needed. North was that close. But now they're trying to make it a 7-point game.
Big score from North, and conversions almost just as big.
Yep. Neither team has failed a conversion so far. We've got some whistles here. Some communication between the officials and the coaching here.
Touchdown by Taylor Bordner.
Not sure what the conversation is. Maybe the formation of some sort. But Van Loo trying to make it a 7-point game. They haven't failed on one yet. Loads up, cross the middle, and she holds on. An impressive show of strength from Bordner again. And Jack, she seems to be your favorite target so far.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got a reliable target like that, you really are inclined to throw it to them more often because you trust them to be able to make these catches. So I do not blame Van Loo at all for going to her go-to. And 7-point lead, that's big for North. That's big in this game, and to get that conversion is just awesome for them.
Able to take advantage this time.
Wrightstown Health and Fitness prides itself on listening to your health goals and concerns because you know your body best. We offer personal training, massage therapy, facials, yoga, and mat Pilates classes. Once more, we work alongside an alliance of other health and wellness providers that include nutrition counseling, chiropractic, physical therapy, acupuncture, aesthetics, and so much more. Stop in or visit at wrightstownhealthandfitness.com to learn how we can fit into your lifestyle today.
And this was an incredible effort out of the backfield. Ends up earning herself about 10 extra yards than she really should have on the outset of that play. But Plymouth Whitemarsh got to move fast here. Just a minute 44 left here.
Yeah, you got to work fast. You really don't want to go into halftime with a deficit. And obviously, only a 7-point deficit is definitely not the worst thing in the world by any means. But to even just bring this to a 1-point game by scoring, that'll be big. See if they have enough time to do it.
It's been the long ball that's been their issue here in the first half. See if they try to go to that here. They fake the give, rolls out to the near side. Floater, and it's going to be caught at the 50. Her flag's not going to get pulled until about the 45. Impressive catch there from number 10. That is Jules Frustillo. We've seen her make a couple plays here. They've got to move quick. Clock below a minute and a half. Continuous clock for the 24-minute halves. And like you said, Jack, you don't want to go into the half with a deficit in really any sport.
Yeah, I mean, in a game like this where it's been so hard for both offenses to consistently move the ball, it's really pivotal that
this time
Plymouth
they handed
Whitemarsh
off a little bit of trickery, moving to the outside. She's still got some room to work with, and this is a more contact football style end of that play, wrapped down at the 34-yard line.
Yeah,
got to do what you got to do.
Just happens sometimes. I mean, you want to
move
get
quick.
her. You'd rather get her down in any way possible than let her break free of that second wave of defenders. And great play right there by Plymouth of freeing up, and they're moving the ball well. See if they have enough time left.
They've got to move quick. They've got 37 seconds left. Confirming the play. Takes the snap. Thinks about pitching it. Now she's rolling to the near side. Unloads this one. It's a one-on-one, and no one comes up with it. Clock is still running. There's a flag down. Maybe some sort of pass interference possibly on that one-on-one. No signal yet. As we wait the gesture from the referees.
Yeah, not a great throw there by the Whitemarsh
Pass interference.
quarterback.
Offense seems to be the call.
Yeah, I mean,
Costly penalty.
when you're the receiver there and the ball is kind of just a can of corn up there to the defense, you really got to start playing defense, and that's what she did there, and still got pegged with the call, but just not the best throw, because when you have a chance to score at the end of the half like this, putting the ball in harm's way when you still have a little bit of time to work with left is just not the right idea. See if they can recover from that costly penalty that puts them back.
Yeah, you respect the
Considerable
aggressiveness,
distance.
but you might want to play a little bit smarter than that. Still 25 seconds to work with, which is plenty of time. She looks to her left, fires. Now it's another pitch. We've seen them run this before. She makes a nice spin move, moving inside the 30-yard line. 17 seconds left. They've got to move quick, and it looks like they're going to use a timeout here.
Yeah, that's a really good play there. They've run it a couple times, and that one, they basically just picked up the rest of their yards that they lost on the previous play. Dress to the Nines, located at 9 North State Street, is your place for the best resale clothing and fashion brands in Newtown. It's the perfect place to find your fashion as we get closer to summer with an amazing collection of clothing, purses, hats, shoes, and much more. Follow us on Instagram or call at 215-944-8900. That's 215-944-8900. Thank you to Dress to the Nines for sponsoring this broadcast.
So 15 seconds to go. Jack, what are you calling up here?
I think you got to get something that's starting to go to the end zone, if not close to it, just because there's not enough time that if you get a short completion to run another play and still have enough time to not put it into the end zone. I think you got to start looking for that deep ball here if you're Plymouth. That doesn't mean put it into harm's way, because you're not going to do that until there's only enough time for one more play.
Alone in the backfield here. Might have 2 plays at most if you're quick. Looking for anything downfield, keeping her eyes downfield. There's nothing downfield. Now she unloads. She's got a wide open woman, and she dropped it. That is a mistake you can't make. She kept her eyes down the field, did everything you'd like to see, but could not make the catch in the corner of the end zone.
That is a pivotal mistake. The quarterback did a great job right there, evading the pressure, buying time. The throw wasn't the best throw, but it was in the area and got to the receiver just as it was supposed to, and you just got to come up with that if you're Plymouth. That could have been huge for them. And now at this point, it's probably going to be the final play that they can run right now.
Most likely the final play of the half. We got 7.8 seconds. Got to get this one into the end zone. Loads up, looking downfield again. Fires across the middle. It's caught. Can she get there? Flag. Did they get the flag in time? No. Oh, you see me? Yes, they did. And that should, or they'll have one more play for Council Rock North. 3 seconds on the clock. See if they just, say, let's try a Hail Mary here. Don't see that often in flag football, but.
Yeah, I'm shocked that they were even able to
I'm shocked there's time
get
left.
it. Yeah, it's that they were able to run a play and still have time left. And now that actually happened, it turns out to be
Correction. Plymouth Whitemarsh got the catch and had their last timeout and used it, so it is still Plymouth Whitemarsh ball. So they're going to fit 3 plays in the last 7 seconds, which is very impressive.
Yeah, and turns out that ended up being really good for them because now they're in a very good position where it's really just a short to intermediate completion that'll put them in the end zone rather than a deep ball. And they have a chance to make up for the mistake a couple plays ago and potentially tie this game up, which would be big.
Ball at the end zone marked at the 10. So you need 10 yards. Last chance to get it. See what they go to here. They pitch it to the far side. That one's bobbled, incomplete, no time left on the clock, so we'll go into the half. It is Council Rock North 14, Plymouth Whitemarsh 7. We will be right back for the second half after some words from our sponsors.
Driving a car is all fun and games until your car breaks down. But lucky for you, there's Delaire Auto Body and Service Center, a family-owned business serving Northeast Philadelphia for over 40 years. They can handle all your automotive needs from state inspection to collision repair and insurance claims. Their friendly team is always available to assist you. All you need to do is reach out to them at 215-632-4780 or delaire.auto@verizon.net.
At Dress to the Nines, you can get wonderful bags like these in the spring.
Here at Dress to the Nines Consign, you can get wonderful shoes like Jimmy Choo, London, Elegant. I might wear it myself.
As the president of the freshman class of Council Rock North, this is the best resale clothing you can get in Newtown.
Come down to Dress the Nines.
As the freshman president of the... No, why am I... As the president...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Walt Snyder Stadium. And before we get back to talking about the game, Jack, I believe you have a word from one of our sponsors.
It's from Wrightstown Health and Fitness, which prides itself on listening to your health goals and concerns because you know your body best. We offer personal training, massage therapy, facials, yoga, and mat Pilates classes. Once more, we work alongside an alliance of other health and wellness providers that include nutrition counseling, chiropractic, physical therapy, acupuncture, aesthetics, and so much more. Stop in or visit WrightstownHealthAndFitness.com to learn how we can fit into your lifestyle today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for Wrightstown and Fitness. They make these broadcasts possible. Jack, if I'm correct, it'll be Council Rock North starting with the ball. After the very strong first half, they were able to make some good stops on defense, and after getting snuffed out in Plymouth territory the first time, they convert on the second try, go up 14-7, and Plymouth unable to score on their final drive.
Yeah, and Council Rock North, they have some momentum now because they got that stop but I really just did not like the last play from Plymouth. They were close, and they kind of tried to get a little bit too gimmicky, and now Council Rock North with a chance to go up by 2 scores, which would be huge for them.
Be the largest lead of any team today. No team has failed on a 1-point conversion, which is something to watch out for. But North will start out with it. It is once again Van Loo and Scarlotta. They love that duo in the backfield.
It's been working.
It has. They'll give it to Scarlotta to start. She's trying to get some room on the outside. She's been able to make people miss all day long. And she's surviving a lot longer than I thought she would out there, Jack. She has some great moves. Be interesting to see her maybe in the slot position, try to get her in some open space.
Yeah, I mean, running the ball is hard, but she consistently is able to pick up yards right there. Looked like it should have been a loss, a drop in the backfield, but she was able to escape from it and at the very least pick up positive yards. She really is hard to take down.
Absolutely, and that's why they love using her so much. Her and Van Loo, you don't know where it's going to go, and I think that's been the problem. Plymouth has just kind of been so sucked in, trying to focus on not letting them get them underneath that they've been able to blow the top off sometimes.
Yeah, when you've got a quarterback like Van Loo who does have good touch on her deep ball, then the run really does set up the deep pass nicely.
Some good flag pulling there from Plymouth to prevent that from getting any bigger than it should have. Scarlotta just quick and fast, you feel like, at the same time, but they're able to get her there quicker, essentially.
Yeah, a big difference in this game has been the fundamental flag pulling of North, and Plymouth, well, it hasn't been disastrous by any means. It's been a little bit iffy, and it's allowed for some of these North running backs and slot receivers in open space to pick up a lot more yards than you'd think that they would have been able to get.
Absolutely. Van Loo once again under center. Gives it to Scarlotta again. They've been using her a lot on this drive, but Plymouth not giving her anything, and that is something we did not see too much of in the first half there, Jack. They've made great adjustments on the flag pulling.
Yeah, I mean, consistently running
First down, though.
Consistently running the ball is pretty difficult in flag football, because once you do it a few times right, the defense really is going to key in on that. That's why you got to find that balance to where once you successfully run it a few times, then you try to blow the top off the defense.
That's all they did there on that first set of downs. They just fed Scarlotta, got the first down. This time it's a little crossing route, some room to work with. Her flag would get pulled at the 40. So there you go, Jack. Run to set up the pass, and that's exactly what they just did.
And again, like I said before, I really love these slants and crossing routes. They just work. You just get your receivers open, and when you get easy completions like that, and you start your girl off in open space a couple yards down the field, and that's what makes them so successful.
Absolutely. Van Loo, for the first time this drive, not going to be under center. 3 receivers on the near side. She doesn't even look that way. Cross the middle. That one's almost intercepted. There's a flag out. That flag was at almost as soon as the snap. So we await the signal here from the referee as they discuss it there at the 40. Jack, did you see anything?
I didn't see anything because I was focused on the pass, which not a great one into double coverage, but luckily for North, the penalty is on Plymouth anyway. So move the ball up a couple yards and got to retry. But dangerous. If there was no flag on that play, that could have ended very badly for North.
The Plymouth coach does not look that happy. I didn't see a signal, so I'm not quite sure what it was on. Jack, I don't know if you saw anything.
Yeah, I did not see anything. Likely an offsides is what I would think.
Most likely Van Loo going to pass here again. Looks down the field to the left side, and that's just no good. Looking for Scarlotta. As soon as I say it, they try to work her into some open space down the field.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness from North, and that's a tough ball if you're Van Loo because you kind of have to put it where Scarlotta can get it, but also not where the safety who was coming over to help could get it, and wasn't where either of them could get it, just a bit too far for the receiver there. But I do like the aggressiveness, and I do like the willingness to try to push the ball downfield for North.
For sure, especially with the safety looming over top. Plymouth was perfectly positioned for that one.
Yeah, not a bad throw, but not good enough for the completion either. So we'll see when North decides to take out the deep ball out of their back pocket next time.
Plymouth playing very close here, 3rd down. Van Loo trying to get this one off quick, cross the middle. What a catch, being able to hold on through the traffic. Believe that is once again number 17, Taylor Bordner.
Yeah, right there. That's really strong hands by Bordner because that pass, double coverage, it was dangerous, but she was able to make that catch and get a couple extra yards to go on top of it to get the first down for North.
And it is an interesting note that I want to talk about the PA that just went over the stadium. Daisy Van Loo, we saw her in the library before the game. She said that she was tired of never getting her name mentioned when there was a first down. So that is, I don't know who she spoke to make that happen. But she's got it now at the 45-yard line all by herself. Looking Scarlotta's way. It's a screen, and that one just nothing there. I believe there is a flag down on the near side, and signal is false start north, so nothing going anyway.
Yeah, and these penalties, you give one and you take one. One was on Plymouth, and now Council Rock North returning the favor right there with the penalty of their own. But they're still going for the short passes right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of waiting to see if Council Rock North is going to try to run a mesh concept, maybe try to stick it in between the two levels of the defense, or maybe the defense is just too tight in those areas for them to actually give that a try. But so far, all of their passes have kind of been either short or long. No in between.
Yeah, Van Loo's been able to cook up the long ball so far in this game. They've been using Scarlotta a lot on this drive as they've just barely got the first down. You see the pine cone and the marker there. Van Loo puts Scarlotta in motion. Nothing new. It's a double pitch. Now moving to the far side. And they're going to get her flag relatively quickly, though. Good play.
Yeah, the play design, it may look complicated off the bat, but the reason why it can be such an enticing play to run for an offense is it's actually a very simple play to run. So it is one that you like to see from North, but not the very substantial gain there.
Ricetown Health and Fitness prides itself on listening to your health goals and concerns because you know your body best. We offer personal training, massage therapy, facials, yogas, and mat Pilates classes. What's more, we work alongside an alliance of other health and wellness providers that include nutrition, counseling, chiropractic, physical therapy, acupuncture, aesthetics, and so much more. Stop in or visit RightstownHealthAndFitness.com to see more. This pass across the middle, gonna be caught, or no, bobbled and incomplete. Couldn't survive the contact there.
Tough catch there and tough coverage, and not able to get the completion on that one.
Almost out of breath up here in the booth trying to run through that ad read.
Fast ad read.
I was in my zone there. You know, I'm not specialized in ad reads. It's a long fourth down here for Council Rock North. First down at the 30-yard line. Gonna have to go long here.
Ever considered a career in freestyle rapping?
No, I have not considered it. I'll think about it, Jack. You know, if I ever do, I'll start on one of these broadcasts with you. I'll promise you that. I'll have my first freestyle rap.
I'll be waiting.
What about you, Jack? Freestyle rap is for you?
No, it's not my thing.
All right, well, North, they've got to get this fourth down conversion. It is fourth and a long way. And it looks like they're just going to give this one up. Sent down. This one's going to land at the 30. Looks like it'll be out at the 31-yard line. It's the first punt of the day from either team, so Plymouth with a crucial stop. They'll get the first down with 16 and a half minutes to go.
Yeah, that's a short punt right there, but an interesting quirk about this flag football compared to traditional 5v5 is that you do have punts, and you usually don't have that. So at least in this version of flag football, the foot part of football at least can come into play at least a little bit.
Interesting decision there. They elect not to go for it. I guess it makes sense when you're up like they are. This time they hand off to the far side, moving across the middle, making some spin moves, surviving just a lot longer, and that has been the key, just making defenders miss, gaining those extra yards you shouldn't really be getting. And they've been able to do that very well today, and it's a great start to a drive that they need to go well.
Yeah, and so far that's been an uncommon lapse for North, as they have not wavered in their flag pulling abilities so far in this game, but great job right there to avoid the would-be tacklers.
Absolutely. See if they go back to the ground in some sort here. Takes the snap, looking to the near side, now flips it back out. Some room to work with. She's going to unload down the field. It's a one-on-one, and she gets behind the defense and makes the catch inside the 20. North had their eyes too focused on the quarterback and wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, that's a great throw right there. It was a strong throw, it was a tight spiral, and it got just over the defense, and that's the chunk play that you needed if you're Plymouth. First time you've been able to blow the top off the defense today. That's got to be a great confidence booster if you are Plymouth Whitemarsh.
For sure, and especially it looked like North just bit when they flipped it out to the far side, thinking that she was going to run. Just some eye candy for the safeties. This time they go back to the air, rolling, now flips it back across the middle, and she just wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, and I think that's a little bit on the quarterback, too. She left it behind her, and that's a tough catch to make. And even if she made it, wouldn't have had any momentum to go anywhere with the ball. Would have just kind of been stationary, waiting for a flag to be pulled. So got to clean that up. But not a bad play design.
A
was
big
able to
break
get her
for
open.
North as there's so much talk about how hard playing defensive back and tackle football is. With the lack of contact allowed in flag football, it's just as hard. Trying to tie this game up, they flip it back to the far side. She's trying to make something happen. Now she unloads for the corner of the end zone. She's got a girl again, and she's into the end zone. North bites on the eye candy for the second time, and Plymouth is an extra point away from tying it up.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say playing corner and flag is quite as hard as tackle football, but, I mean, obviously North on this drive struggling to keep up. Their defensive backs are struggling to keep up with the Plymouth Whitemarsh wide receivers, and once again, is the pitch outside is what's been their most successful passing attack, as she's been able to push the ball and get it to her guys deep down the field, and that time going for a score.
And this is a big extra point conversion trying to tie this one up. See what they go to. They'll pitch it, see if she throws, fires towards the corner, and there's just nothing there. It's the first time we have not seen a successful conversion all day long, and that is big for the Indians.
Yeah, and that's big, and not getting that is kind of a combination of rolling out a righty thrower to the left side and great defensive pressure by North. Their blitzer right on her tail the whole time, making her rush that throw.
And you know what else is a great combination, Jack? Wrightstown Health and Fitness, because
right.
it prides yourself on listening to your health goals and concerns because you know your body best. We offer personal training, massage therapy, facials, yoga, and mat Pilates classes. What's more, we work alongside an alliance of other health and wellness providers that include nutrition counseling, chiropractic, physical therapy, acupuncture, aesthetics, and so much more. Stop in or visit wrightstownhealthandfitness.com to learn how we can fit into your lifestyle today. So North with the ball over halfway, or just about halfway through the second quarter, or second half, rather. Van Loo, see if they try to put this game away. Out to Scarlata. They are all over it. And they are just ready for that one. They're going to have to try something new here.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes as a ball carrier, there's only so much you can do, and no matter how shifty or clean your juke moves are, somebody can always pull your flag.
Absolutely. They're just ready for it there. I'm sorry, Jack. If you didn't see it, I was a little bit shocked by what was going on with the score. We're just going to leave it alone. I feel like it's just a curse at this point. Second down for Council Rock North.
At least it's not counting by twos this time.
Yeah, we've got that working for us. Van Loo looks to the right side. She's got a girl open, and they're going to get the flag quickly. Plymouth Whitemarsh knows how badly they need to stop here. Council Rock North now going to get the first down.
First down, and guess what? It was another slant route. That's been working for North. And generally, as a rule of thumb, that's the most successful passing play in flag football. Just to the Nines, located at 9 North State Street, is your place for the best resale clothing and fashion brands in Newtown. It's the perfect place to find your fashion as we get closer to summer with an amazing collection of clothing, purses, hats, shoes, and much more. Follow us on Instagram or call at 215-944-8907. That's 215-944-8907. Just like those crossing patterns are so successful in flag football, Dress to the Nines is where you're going to be very successful in finding your next fashion for the upcoming summer season.
Van Loo looking for Scarlata. They've been feeding her the entire second half, and she's going to find some room to work with. She is so good at just gaining that extra yardage. And where Plymouth has improved at their flag pulling here in the second half, we as a network in these, I believe this is our 7th broadcast for spring sports in Council Rock North. We as a network have improved at these ad transitions. Jack, you are putting up generational numbers today.
Yeah, I'd like to say...
You've been studying film, I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta make it as it's fun. You gotta, put some personality into it and have a little bit of fun with it. That's what it's all about.
I know we had a blast filming that commercial, Jack. We got to get all of us in a commercial. You were not there for that one.
Yeah,
we'll find a time.
I feel very left out.
Van Loo crossed the middle here, and it's another good flagpole to be third down and about, I want to say 10, 11 yards, or maybe a little bit more than that for North. They've just been methodically chewing the clock here. 10, 11 left on the clock. And continuous here in flag football, each team with all 3 timeouts, though.
Yeah, I mean, right here, a stop is pretty important for Plymouth because you don't want to go down by 8 because if a 1-point conversion is hard to get, then a 2-point conversion is obviously twice as hard. And that's not a position you want to be in if you're Plymouth. It's trying to go for 2 to tie the game.
And for North, if they score, maybe go for 2 for the dagger. We'll see if they get there, though. Here's a pass across the middle. Tipped and intercepted. What a play from the Colonials, and that has changed this game. She's still on her feet. One woman to beat.
And she's gonna. Did she get the flag, or maybe she did? Waiting on the ruling, it looks like Scarlotta pulled her flag at about the 15-yard line, and she did. But what a game-changing play there, Jack.
Yeah, there's been some throws into traffic the entire game for North, and that time it finally bit them in the heel because that pass tipped up and right place, right time for Plymouth, and able to get a very sizable return on that as well. Great pull to prevent a touchdown and give North a chance to at least preserve their lead. But right there, game-changing play for Plymouth. Now you really got to capitalize now.
And just like that, we've got a game again. After a very slow first, I would say 10, 12-ish minutes of play, it has heated up here in the second half, and Plymouth Whitemarsh looking to take their first lead since the opening drive. Run to the far side here. Maybe gains a couple extra yards, but nothing much doing there. And, Jack, we'll see how much time they decide to take off the clock. As each team with all 3 timeouts, but time now, you're trying to think of, you score here, you're obviously giving it back.
Yeah, with plenty of time, I'd think the priority is to score rather than to burn clock.
Rolling out to the far side, flips it out, North all over, and it's another good flagpole. So just like that, it's 3rd down.
But with that and the play before that, Plymouth Whitemarsh has inched a lot closer from about 10 yards away from the end zone to now they're inside of 5. Now that really makes it a lot easier because all you need is one hook or slant route and a quick throw. Then that will give them the lead.
Absolutely. You've set yourself up well here. You got to convert. No excuses. Chance to take your first lead since, like we mentioned, the opening drive.
Defense so far for Plymouth has been able to pick up the slack for the offense all game, and now's the time where the offense has to show themselves.
Looking towards the near side. There's nothing there. North secondary is locked down, but they're not in the corner. Plymouth Whitemarsh has stormed out to their first lead in almost an hour in real time.
Yeah, I saw it right when the quarterback saw that, and great throw.
You can see
great
the light bulb
timing,
almost.
And really great job scheming that route open for Plymouth, and now they are taking the lead.
Absolutely. Alternate Dimension Toys, a Comic-Con and a store. Stop by either our Newtown and Oxford Valley Mall location for the newest pop culture collectibles. More Funko Pops, Pokemon cards, and action figures here than any galaxy far, far away. And Plymouth Whitemarsh, an extra point away here. I believe that was into the end zone. There's no change on the scoreboard. It looked to me that was in the corner. Oh, here we go. Okay, scoreboard has now been changed. And see, it does appear they're going for 2 here. Not quite sure.
Yeah, I mean,
looks like it's at the 20-yard line. I believe that is just a 1-point conversion, actually.
Yeah, I mean, going for 2
Trust
is
your defense.
not out of the question considering North is 2 for 2 on 1-point conversions, and a 1-point conversion would only put you up.
Pass to the corner, and she heels it in. 6-point game. Plymouth Whitemarsh has stormed back here in the second half, and it is a brand new game.
That's another great play right there. The pitch out to this sort of running back who's been playing a lot of quarterback, though, for Plymouth for the past couple of drives, making some really good throws.
And we've just gotten word that this is not going to count. They're calling an illegal forward pass on Plymouth Whitemarsh. So, Jack, that is huge.
Yeah, that's not a good mistake. I mean, the legal forward pass just coming on the lateral that they've ran so many times successfully today, and now it's only a 5-point game, and if you're Plymouth Whitemarsh, a stop is very important here because any touchdown will take the lead now. No conversion necessary.
Now, Jack, my philosophy here is you're already so far out. I feel like I'm going for 2 here just because it's not going to make that much of a difference. Maybe that's just me. But
I would have gone for 2 off the bat anyway because the difference between a 5 and a 6-point game.
And it looks like they're just not going to give him it at all, so no redo.
Yeah, the difference between a 5 and a 6-point game is actually not that much
This one
considering.
floated up in the air. Dangerous ball, but it's hauled in by the Indians. And they don't have our flag. They won't get it until at the 49-yard line, so they need points, and they start off the exact right way.
Great throw right there, and just putting it over the defender's head. And also a good catch, getting the first down past midfield. That's huge for Council Rock North. They have a chance to take the lead with a touchdown right here. Big drive.
So like I mentioned, after a very methodical start to this game, really for each side, it is really heated up in this last, I want to say, 10-ish minutes of game time. Plymouth Whitemarsh with its first lead, like I mentioned, in almost an hour in real time since their opening drive of the game. But now Van Loo's trying to lead her team back into the lead, less than 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, right here, being smart is really important if you're Van Loo. You don't want to give it away back to Plymouth Whitemarsh and
This
give them
one
a chance to
pitch, some room
extend
to
their
work
lead.
with, but a good flagpole. Like Jack, I feel like a broken record at this point, but your point keeps coming back to life. Incredible flagpoling from each of these sides at points in today's game.
Yeah, I mean, other than a couple of miscues allowing girls to break free and get a couple of extra yards, it's been largely consistent for both teams, and that's been important as, I don't know, both teams are just fundamental, and they're pulling flags, and they're saving yards.
I'd like to say, if the scoreboard is changing, that is me, not Jack. Not that it's a technical thing. I just don't want Jack to get the blame. Here's Van Loo here on a short route. Another good flagpole. I'm not an OBS expert, but it is a great game. Less than 4 minutes left to go now. Each team with all of its timeouts, so see how that comes into play here. You've got third down. You're about, I want to say from here, it looks like 10.5 yards from the first down. That'd be a first and goal if they get it.
Yeah, I think it's crunch time now for North. You've got to score on this drive right here, because if you don't, then it'll be pretty easy for Plymouth to milk the clock for the rest of the game.
Van Loo here on third down. Takes the ball. Everyone's going down the field. This one bobbled and incomplete. A good contest here from Plymouth Whitemarsh.
Yeah, I mean, fourth down, this is a big moment here. And right now in North, they need to come up big. Down 5, you get a touchdown. You put yourself in great position to potentially win the game. But it's a pretty long fourth down conversion here. You got to scheme something good up. And if you're the coach right now, I'm saying in the huddle, like, it's crunch time. You got to get this, got to have it.
For sure, this
could be it.
Sorry to cut you off. This is the biggest play of the game. Got to have it here. You might not get the ball back if you don't. What do you got? Van Loo going to take it under center. You practice, you train for these moments for months. Van Loo steps back, trying to get the ball off. This one into no man's land, and it's incomplete. There was nothing there, and she just floats up a prayer, and it is Plymouth Whitemarsh ball with 2 minutes and ticking left.
Yeah, and now it's up to Council Rock North's defense and the coach to time manage the rest of the game. Because right now, they just got to pull flags and just try their best to get a stop. It's going to be tough from here on out.
Believe there's a timeout here. I want to say it was from Council Rock North. I could be mistaken. There's 2 minutes on the clock here in the stadium, and Jack, this is the 2-minute warning. Excuse me, pardon me.
2-minute warning.
So 2 minutes left to go. We've had an incredible last couple minutes. Jack, if you're Council Rock North, the formula is simple here. You've got all 3 of your timeouts. You need 3 stops and a punt.
Yeah, and the one tricky thing for Plymouth Whitemarsh here is obviously you're going to be thinking run the ball. You don't want to put it in harm's way. But if Council Rock North is able to pull flags quickly and keep it at a long distance to the first down, you might end up forcing Plymouth Whitemarsh into either having to make a play downfield or concede the possession. It'll be interesting to see how Plymouth plays this.
See what the play calling is here. North played very close to the line of scrimmage. Plymouth going to run the ball as expected. Trying to get some room on the outside, but a good flagpole, just what you were looking for. And timeout, Council Rock North, I believe. Yep, timeout. Their first of 3, no surprises.
Timeout, Council Rock.
I think they're going to add some time to the clock here. Looked like he got it off early. The clock says 1:49. To me, looked like he had that earlier. Now, Jack, I think the question you're asking yourself is, if you're Plymouth, is you can very easily get them to bite here because there is just no one over top. You can try to throw the dagger like Jalen Hurts in Super Bowl 52, or you can keep it traditional, keep it on the ground. 57, excuse me, not 52.
Yeah, it's a tough
58.
decision.
Jack, what number was it? Am I losing my mind? I'm pretty sure it was 58. I said 52, then 57. Neither of those are correct.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just go with what's on the real scoreboard right now. But yeah, it's definitely a difficult decision for Plymouth
Losing
to
my
make
mind up
here.
here.
Because, I mean, if you want to take that risk,
It was 59, wasn't it?
I mean, 1 second play, it's pretty short. Precious seconds
We'll
ticked
get back
away
to
very
this
quickly for North. But
after the broadcast. I think I'm having an episode. But Plymouth Whitemarsh with the ball trying to kill the rest of this clock. They fake the run here. Just dump it off, nothing crazy. And another impressive flagpole. Timeout, Indians. So they have 1 more left. And, Jack, this has been exactly what you're looking here for Council Rock North.
Yeah, they're pulling flags, and while they weren't able to completely stay with that play right there, they were able to pull the flag quickly. Now, 3rd down, likely going to see another one with another run with Plymouth Whitemarsh, given how they've played this drive so far. But if Council Rock North can get a quick flag pull on this play, then it'll set up an interesting play call and decision for the coach of the Colonials on 4th down. Because, I mean, if you give the ball back to Council Rock North with, say, 1:20 left at solid field position, it could be dangerous. And
I'd say if I'm the Colonial head coach here, like you'd mentioned, I'm running the pitch it out to the outside, give her the option to throw it downfield if she wants, or she can tuck it and run and be safe with it.
Yeah,
But
I would consider even just punting it and trying to pin him back as far as possible.
they'll go to the air, see if she throws it down the middle. She does. She has a woman open, but she underthrew her. And it is going to be Indians' ball. And not only that, Jack, I don't think they're going to have to use a timeout. I believe the clock stops inside 2 minutes.
That is just a
Worst case scenario.
costly mistake from the Plymouth Whitemarsh quarterback. She had her guy wide open down the field, no one near her, ahead of the sticks, and just spiked it at the ground in front of her. And now it's 4th down. Again, interesting to see what Plymouth Whitemarsh decides to do here, as time for Council Rock North no longer really a factor, because if they get a stop, they will be able to get the ball back with a pretty substantial amount of time left to try to drive the ball down the field.
So we're set to have a cinematic ending to this one. Council Rock North going to have the ball just over 1:20. We'll see how this punt goes, and a timeout. See what they got on the return. Makes a move at the 30, and she'll get her flag pulled. Thought she'd walked out of bounds. It's a good start there for the Colonials, but Daisy Van Loo going to take the field. 1:25 to work with, a timeout. You need a touchdown. You got, I want to say, 50 yards to go.
Yeah, 1:25 left. Time, like I just said before, it's really not that much of a factor unless the clock management is poor from the offense. Now it's all about executing your plays, getting positive yards, and ultimately scoring, because it's all or nothing right now for North.
Absolutely. This is the biggest drive of the game by far. North, you rarely get second chances. They were not able to convert on their first one. Ended up being that interception. Ended up turning it over. Now Van Loo. Game in her hands. 1:25 on the clock. You have one timeout left. This one floated. There's nobody there, and it's almost intercepted. Seemingly a miscommunication. Jack, there was no one there.
Yeah, I mean, dangerous throw right there, obviously. And if you're Plymouth Whitemarsh, you really got to pick that. It's a tough play to make, but it was in her hands, and that probably would have ended the game with that. And North, another chance after another miscue, and you really just got to bear down and try to execute your plays better like you did in the first half.
My only thought could be is possibly the play was either you're going here, and if that's not open, you throw it out of bounds. Don't waste any time. That could be my only other thought. But Van Loo with another chance here. Loads up down the right side. There's a lot more Colonials than there is Indians, and it's intercepted. Did they get it in bounds? Yes, they did, and that should just about do it. It's Van Loo's third of the evening, and that should just about wrap it up.
Yeah, I mean, putting it into harm's way in a crucial game crunch time situation like that, it's not the right play there. And Plymouth Whitemarsh this time, they got 2 lollipop passes in a row, and the second one they were able to capitalize. And 1:14, never say never, but they have a pretty good chance to put this game away.
Believe they can knee it out, because North only has one timeout. Or do whatever the equivalent of that is in their playbook, and that is just so costly. And Jack, the most surprising part of that play to me was that there was not only was there just one Indian wide receiver on the far side of the field to us, there were about 4 Colonials.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you got a blitzer in your face right away off the bat. It can be tough to make quick decisions, and when it's crunch time, sometimes it gets to your head, and you just want it all right away. And right there, all that was there was all the Colonials defenders that were stuffing the place where the throw was meaning to go, and just not the right decision there. And Plymouth Whitemarsh, should they be able to knee this out, is going to escape here with a gritty win.
And pressure's been Van Loo's problem all evening long. They'll just keep this one on the ground. Good flagpole. North, I believe, might use their last timeout. No signal yet, and it doesn't look like they will. So they'll be intent to go home here with a tough loss. It'll be a nice bus ride back to the campus for Plymouth Whitemarsh. And Jack, I feel like the difference in this game was the way the quarterbacks performed under pressure. Van Loo was just not able to handle it too well today.
Yeah, and the thing about Plymouth is that when they were able to get their passes going downfield, it was on the pitch outs to their basically second quarterback, which was able to put her out into space, which allowed for her to have more time and less pressure on her to make a throw. That ended up being the difference, as the pressure on Van Loo. Decisions just too quick there, and yeah, a lot of this falls on the great scheming by Plymouth Whitemarsh, just some great play
100%.
calls in crunch time.
And for the head coach for Plymouth Whitemarsh, you've got to be happy, as when North took that 14-7 lead, just about everything went their way from then on. But you have a great second half. You're intent to let these final seconds tick by. And Jack, as we finish this one up, it'll be Plymouth Whitemarsh 19, Council Rock North 14. The late rally from the Colonials proves victorious. Jack, what'd you see here?
Well, I saw Plymouth, really, they bared down and they didn't quit. They were down in a 7-point hole, and then even when they scored, a penalty on the conversion wiped that out, so they were still down, but their defense made plays in the second half, got a couple turnovers, and that ultimately did it in for Council Rock North. It's a great win for the Colonials.
Absolutely a lot to build off of this game for each side. But, Jack, I've had a blast with you doing our first ever flag football game on the Rally Sports Network. I have been Ethan Whitney, Jack McInerney to my right on color commentator, and Ethan Livolsi behind the camera. Thank you so much for making us part of your evening tonight. We will be right back for all other Council Rock North Spring sports. This has been the Rally Sports Network. This has been flag football. Have a great night.